The Independence Square, or Maidan Tahrir, is located in the heart of Sana'a, the capital of the Republic of Yemen. To the Yemenites who have experienced many conflicts for 3 decades, the peace and unity they are experiencing today are welcomed blessings. This republic was once divided into two, North Yemen and South Yemen. Yemen became part of the Turkish Ottoman Empire since 1517. In 1918, the influence of the Turkish Ottoman Empire waned in Yemen, and it was free to form its own government. During this period, the strategic Aden harbor to the south continued to be held by the Western conquerors. The British imperialists widened their influence in South Yemen in 1839 by conquering the harbor town. The local lore says that Aden was established by Habil and Kabil, the sons of Prophet Adam, peace be upon him. Thus, some people claim that Aden is among the earliest human settlements in the world. Small fishing boats litter its beach. The Straits of Aden is very rich with sea produce, thus blessing the coastal citizens of Aden with continuous income. The harbor of Aden is very strategically placed. It is the stopping place for international trading ships, especially those which cross the Suez Canal and the Red Sea. The British only released its clutch on the south of Yemen in 1967. 3 years after the independence from the British, the south of Yemen became heavily influenced by the Marxist ideology. Faced with this onslaught, hundreds of thousands of Muslims from South Yemen fled to the north. The lengthy conflict lasted for 2 decades between South and North Yemen and ended in 1990. Yemen is counted as one of the poorest Arab nations, even though petroleum is its primary source of income. Under the IMF program, the government is trying to restructure and strengthen the economy of the nation and its people. The terrorist stigma attributed to Muslims and the Arabs today does not contribute to an already struggling economy of this third world country. The 2003 statistics showed that the rate of unemployment was at 53% for this nation of 20 million. Most of the jobs available here are in the agricultural sector, which contributed about 15% of the GDP in 2003. Tourism was also among the contributing sectors for this nation's economy. However, this sector was affected especially after the 9/11 incident. The faces of Western tourists could hardly be seen along the streets of this old bazaar in the old city of Sana'a. However, there are no worries painted on the faces of these children. Life passes slowly in this part of the world. Used books like these are quite cheap. The booksellers usually get their stock from graduates who have finished their studies. Education is of primary importance in this country because illiteracy is still a problem. Many of the books sold here are religious books. Traditional Islamic educational institutions were started 11 centuries ago, especially in the Hadramaut region. Six daily Arabic newspapers and two weekly English newspapers offer current news to the citizens. Although the choices are somewhat limited, a variety of local and international magazines can still be purchased in Sana'a. However, most of them are written in the Arabic language. According to the stall owner, he normally sells around 200 newspapers every day, enough for a bachelor like him to earn a living. The stall owner, Saleh Hussein Soleh, has run this business for 5 years. He left school when he was 18 and is thankful that he is earning a living. The current economic situation in Yemen does not provide him with a lot of career choices. Tourism has a big potential in contributing to the economy of Yemen. Besides its unique geography, it also has a rich history. Yemen is like an open museum. The shrine to the sun god is one of the signs of its past civilization. So is this old city of Sana'a. Yemen is indeed an old nation. This old city of Sana'a, for example, is said to be built by Sam, Prophet Noah's son, peace be upon him. Because of this, Sana'a was proclaimed a World Heritage of Mankind by UNESCO since 20 years ago. The Sabian civilization is believed to have achieved its golden era in the beginning of the 10th century BC. The Ma'rib Dam is a testament to the sophistication of Yemen's ancient civilization. This great civilization left behind obvious signs for the current generation to admire and to learn from. The journey from Sana'a along a mountainous terrain takes around 4 hours to complete. The destination is Al Janad, Taiz. Today's journey reminds us of the difficult journey taken 14 centuries ago by one of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's companions, to spread the word of Islam in Yemen. His name was Mu'az bin Jabal. This is Mu'az bin Jabal's mosque in Janad. It is the second oldest mosque in Yemen, built in the 9th year of Hijrah, after the great mosque in Sana'a. The first Friday in the month of Rajab on the 9th year of Hijrah. This mosque was just completed and the Muslims were holding Friday prayers in this mosque, led by the Prophet's emissary to Yemen, Mu'az bin Jabal. Today, Habib Abu Bakr bin Ali al-Adani, one of the most respected and famous Muslim scholars in Yemen, gives the Friday sermon in this mosque. The Imam reminds Muslims to remember the struggles of Mu'az bin Jabal in his effort to spread Islam. He also invites the congregation to fear Allah, to deepen their understanding of Islam, and to lead their lives according to the teachings of the Quran and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Each year in Janad, The first Friday in the Muslim month of Rajab is remembered in this manner. It has been the tradition to remember the history of the coming of Islam to Yemen, especially to this region. The people remembered the great contribution of Mu'az bin Jabal to their community by bringing Islam and its teachings to their land. According to local sources, this celebration to remember the coming of Islam to Yemen has been conducted in this mosque since the 17th century AD. Some of the visitors have set up temporary camps. Some have come from faraway places such as Aden and Hadramaut. The event is celebrated by group reading of the Holy Quran. The whole of the Holy Quran is read from start to finish in 3 days. For 3 days, starting from Wednesday after the Asr prayer, the area will be thriving with people. Outside the mosque, buyers and sellers are busy haggling over the price of goods. Inside the mosque, the situation is much calmer. When the adhan, the call to prayers, is voiced, the Muslims begin to enter this historic mosque in throngs. The Friday sermon and prayers form the climax of the celebration. Islam began to prosper in Yemen in the 9th year of Hijrah, when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sent Abu Ubaidah al-Jarrah and Ali bin Abi Talib to Sana'a to teach Islam to the Yemenites. They were then followed by Mu'az bin Jabal. The history of the first Friday in the month of Rajab in the 9th year of Hijrah, where Mu'az bin Jabal led the prayers in this mosque, will always be remembered. The call to Islam first reached Yemen in the 6th century of Hijrah, when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sent a letter to the heads of tribes in Yemen. During this time, Yemen was under the rule of the king of Persia. After the opening of the city of Mecca by the Muslims in the 9th year of Hijrah, the year later known as the Year of Delegations, tribes from all over Arabia sent delegations to meet the Prophet, peace be upon him. Among them were the delegation of 80 people consisting of several Yemeni tribes, led by Ash from the Kida tribe. Bazan, the representative of the Persian king in Yemen, also embraced Islam in the 10th year of Hijrah, even though his king had torn up the letters sent by the Prophet, peace be upon him. After the prayers, the worshippers thronged around Habib Abu Bakr, the respected Imam from Aden who has led the prayers, to meet him in person and shake his hand. The mosque's pulpit, which is etched with Quranic calligraphy, still stands strong even though it has been used for many years. The same goes with this mihrab, the prayer niche. In sync with its priceless historical significance, a heritage like this is valued highly. Similarly, the tradition of giving respect to learned scholars is also valued highly among the people of Yemen. It has been a long tradition among the Muslims to raise the status of learned Muslim scholars to the highest hierarchy within their community. For the Prophet's companions like Mu'az bin Jabal, who have brought the words of Islam to Yemen, this is even more so. Mu'az embraced Islam through Mus'ab bin Umair, a companion, who was sent to Medina to spread Islam after the first Aqaba agreement. As soon as the Prophet, peace be upon him, reached Medina, Muaz attached himself to him until he was able to understand the Holy Quran and other Islamic teachings very well. The Prophet once praised him by saying, "Among my people, the most knowledgeable about what is lawful and what is not in Islam is Muaz bin Jabal." The traders are making ready to head home, while the patrons are taking the opportunity to buy goods at reduced price because they know that the traders would like to sell as much of their wares as possible before returning home. The Rajab celebration has ended, and a sense of peace and quiet settles once more on the mosque. The Prophet once certified the knowledge of Muaz on the Holy Quran by saying, "Learn Al-Quran from four people: Ibn Mas'ud, Ubay bin Ka'b, Muaz bin Jabal, and Salim Mawla Abi Hudhayfa." This white pillar functions as the Dhuhr and Asr prayer time indicator. The Muaz bin Jabal Mosque in Jannah displays a typical old mosque architecture. This mosque has been renovated several times. The last was 3 decades ago. When Muaz arrived in Jannah, he conveyed the message of Islam entrusted to him by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to the local tribal leaders. In the 9th year of Hijrah, they welcomed the Prophet's invitation and embraced Islam. Muaz bin Jabal, the most knowledgeable person on Al-Quran among the Prophet's companions, one of the best readers of the Holy Quran, and among those with the best understanding of the teachings of Islam. It was for this reason that he was chosen as one of the 6 companions who were given the responsibility to compile the Holy Quran during Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's era. Muaz was very well versed in ijtihad, the interpretation of Islamic law. This was shown in the famous story of his dialogue with the Prophet, peace be upon him, before his departure to Yemen. The Prophet, peace be upon him, asked, "O Muaz, how are you going to act on religious matters?" Muaz answered, "I will refer to the Book of Allah, Holy Quran." The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, asked again, "What if you cannot find the answers in the Holy Quran?" "I will refer to the Prophet's Sunnah, Prophet's teachings," answered Muaz. "What if you cannot find it in the Sunnah either?" The Prophet, peace be upon him, asked again. Muaz answered with conviction, "Then I will make ijtihad and act on it." The Prophet's face lightened up upon hearing Muaz's answer, and he said, "All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given his guidance to his Prophet's messenger." Yemen is a blessed old nation with an extensive history. The civilization of man emerged and disappeared over time. But here is still something left behind to be remembered and learned from. Here in Yemen, prophets and their companions once graced the land, leaving Yemen with a guiding light. Oh